Wherever you may be and however you may be listening, Fox Sports Radio, iHeartRadio, and FS1. New haircut, boy, on the air. New haircut. Very proud of it.
It looks very nice.
Thank you. Very professional.
I have no idea what day it is. What day is today? It feels like Friday because we had football last night.
I loved it. People complaining about too much football. It's like saying that too much bacon. Like, just more, please. I thought it was great.
That's a great comparison, yes.
I love it.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. And it was great to see Lamar Jackson out there playing well.
Yeah, that's enough bacon. Really, I'm done eating the most delicious meat ever. Really, I'm done with bacon. All right, so 2 ways to look at the Cowboy loss last night. Let's be optimistic. This is the way Jerry Jones is looking at it this morning. Listen, we had 10 more first downs. You know, our field goal kicker was lousy. And our offensive line is hurt. We still won time of possession. Heck, Andy Dalton got us within range of, we thought, winning this game for about 3.5 quarters. I mean, who can win with the injuries we've dealt with on the offensive line? We got more first downs. We rushed for over 100 yards. We won time of possession. With Andy Dalton, we were good on third down. Listen, we'll solve our defensive issues in the draft, and we're eventually going to get a better kicker than that, Steph. That's one way to look at it. That's how Jerry Jones and the Jones family probably look at it this morning. There's this way to look at it. Dallas had 12 days to prepare for Lamar Jackson, who had had 1 practice, and the Ravens rushed for nearly 300 yards. That's another way to look at it. Or that Dallas's head coach is not very inspiring. Dak Prescott's good, but not like really, really good. The defensive coordinator's a whiff. Special teams now are below average. I also look at this league financially. And there's one thing in the NFL you cannot do. Pay great money to average or good players. Here are the 6 highest paid Dallas Cowboys this morning and tomorrow morning. The 6 highest paid Dallas Cowboys are Dak, DeMarcus Lawrence, Amari Cooper, Zeke, Zach Martin, and Tyron Smith. And I love Zach Martin. Everybody else gets paid more than their production and value. Just for comparison. And just like a salary cap is just like your home budget. You'll pay a lot for a mortgage if you got a house in a good neighborhood with a good school. You'll pay a little bit more money for a car if it's incredibly reliable. You got it on a reasonable lease. You don't want to overpay for that stuff. So those are the 6 highest paid guys. What would they do on the market? Would Dak have a big market at $38 million? DeMarcus Lawrence at $25 million? Amari at $20 million? There'd be no market. Zach Martin would have a market. So let's go now to the Kansas City Chiefs. They appear to be well run. Here are their 6 highest paid guys. Patrick Mahomes, Frank Clark, Chris Jones, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and Honey Badger. I'll just give you a heads up. On the market, yeah, they're going for top dollar. The Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers, David Bakhtiari, Kenny Clark, Zadarius Smith, Devontae Adams, Preston Smith. By the way, they didn't pay a ton for Zadarius or Preston Smith, so those are not huge contracts. They're not paid that much on the market. All of them get the money they currently make, some more. Let's go to the L.A. Rams. Aaron Donald, Jared Goff, Jalen Ramsey, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Andrew Whitworth. Whitworth hurt and old. He wouldn't get a ton on the market, but he is a left tackle, so he'd get offers on the market if he was there for a year or two. Total team leader. You can complain about Jared Goff all you want. Would they be better with a quarterback you'd never heard of? Jared Goff's won 65% of his games and got to a Super Bowl. Big picture, long-term, 5-year plan. Dallas has a lot of issues, and primarily the number one issue is they're paying a lot of money for good players. Some are aging and are hurt a lot. Zeke's not close to what he used to be. Colin, come on. Dak got hurt. That changed everything. You were 1-3 with Dak this year. You were 8-8 with Dak last year. With those 6 highest paid players, you got 1 wild card win with those cats. That's it. You got to give me more than that. So Dallas has, to me, I look at Dallas, and our quarterback got hurt is not good enough. You look around the NFL, Seattle's highest paid people, Russell Wilson, okay, Jamal Adams, Carlos Dunlap, Bobby Wagner. Tyler Lockett. Now, Tyler Lockett is a little, at this point, because DK Metcalf is so great, Tyler Lockett feels a little overpaid. But if you look at his salary, it's not like a DeMarcus Lawrence salary. Dallas has major problems. And I've said, okay, give me a solution. The solution is you got a really good draft pick. You're going to finish with a top 5 draft pick. You got 2 choices with that draft pick. One of them, trade it and get multiple picks to get cheaper on the roster. Or 2, get a quarterback. Here's Jimmy Johnson last night in the pregame show.
I think the number one priority, they've got to sign Dak Prescott to a long-term contract. Not a franchise tag, because that will eat up too much of a reduced cap. Now, having said that, I don't expect them to have this high a pick in the draft in the future. So I would not bypass a franchise quarterback in the draft. Quarterbacks are valuable. Go ahead and take one if one's there when you're picking.
And let him sit behind Dak Prescott for multiple years. But this is not, listen, baseball survived when the Yankees were irrelevant in the 80s. The NBA was fine when the Lakers, pre-LeBron, were irrelevant for about 4 or 5 years. Football is going to be fine without the Dallas Cowboys. But Jerry Jones likes to be front and center. And this, Troy Aikman said it at the end of last night's broadcast. There are a lot of issues and not a lot of solutions. When the solution is, all right, let's sign Dak, who we like, to a contract, stretch it out so it's not as punitive, it's not a great solution. He's good. He's not special. He's not going to overcome this defense, overcome average coaching. He's not that special. So I think you're going into a really, really average half decade if things don't change for the Cowboys. So last night, I didn't actually watch this. I saw it this morning because I was watching the game and doing stuff. The college football playoff rankings come out on Tuesday night. So I saw it on Twitter. Alabama 1, Notre Dame 2, Clemson 3, and Ohio State 4. I've really noticed this, and you're really seeing it in sports, is that COVID has been difficult for everybody. It's not been easy for anybody. But does everybody realize Alabama, Notre Dame, Clemson, and Ohio State, with or without COVID, would be here? You really see it in college football and sports. COVID is unraveling average, below average, maybe slightly above average. But the only thing COVID's done to college football, Trevor Lawrence missed a week. Clemson probably beats Notre Dame if they have him. I saw a story this morning. What airlines have handled COVID the best? Delta and Alaska Airlines, my 2 favorite for the last 20 years. Well run is well run, even in crisis. Netflix, Apple, Tesla, Shopify, DocuSign, Amazon have all crushed. College football, everybody complains about the cancellations, and I can't believe this, and I can't believe that. Look at sports. The Dodgers have been one of the top-run franchises in baseball, 7 or 8 straight division titles. COVID, they won a World Series. LeBron James, COVID, won the NBA championship. Tampa Bay Lightning, by hockey people, considered really one of the great franchises, rock solid top to bottom for the last 5 or 6 years, won the Stanley Cup. Look in the NFL, who's good today. The Steelers, the Hunt family, the Packers, the Saints are always well run, the Seahawks. Like COVID's bad, but I look at college football, and everybody says, what about Michigan? Michigan's not great. Michigan's good. What about Penn State? They're good. What about Oregon? They're good. Brian Kelly's great. Dabo Swinney's great. Nick Saban's great. Ohio State football's great. It's been this thing's been tough on everybody. But when it's all said and done in sports, it's the Dodgers, it's the Lightning, it's the big dogs in college football, it's LeBron James, it's the Chiefs and the Steelers and the Packers and even the Patriots with all this mess. They're still in the playoff hunt. So I'm not saying it's been easy, but, people are complaining about Ohio State and not playing enough games. Folks, COVID or not, this is exactly what college football would look like. There's been one little difference. Trevor Lawrence had to miss a game, and Clemson would have beaten Notre Dame. As it is, they almost beat him anyway. All right, coming up next, it is funny to me. Just there's so much. The word I don't think I've ever used is haranguing about Lamar Jackson. There's just so much. People just can't. Oh, God can't throw a football. Okay, I'm over it. Okay, like, I'm going to defend Lamar Jackson again, and then I'm going to move off defending Lamar Jackson because I'm over the story. And I've won the story, and I'm over the story. That, Nick Wright, Joel Klatt, next hour coming up. Well, you ever wonder how much further you go with an extra mile? Well, driver